I don't know what they're doing. They're signing bills. Giving them the 3-minute warning.
I just texted you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can start early, can't we?
I'd be very happy with that.
Just be one more thing for people to complain about, right?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't complain.
I was almost going to suggest having 2 a month.
I'll take you out of your knees if you do that.
Not a typo, right?
No, sir. Well, right after we just got finished paying that bond, it was 300 and some odd, almost 400,000. But my bills are going out tomorrow, so not that that's gonna.
This is a.
There's an agenda up on the podium if you want to grab one.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's fine. It's over here.
Hello.
You want me to take one of those?
Hi.
Pardon me? It's in the back because John went to go buy new light bulbs, brighter ones. We want to make sure it was
You
bright
want to be able to
enough.
see better here?
Yeah.
So the guys are going to come in and change them out. And they'll put that other globe
Good
on.
to do that?
Thank you.
It's 7 o'clock.
It is?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Welcome to the June 12th Pawling Joint Sewer Commission meeting. If you could please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Put your speaker, like it for, just because that's loud.
Okay.
And if you want me to turn it off, even.
Yeah, it's loud, but otherwise we're going to be roasting. So I don't know which is.
All right. Jeez.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session for potential litigation. I also wanted to make it clear that Vanderwater and Vanderwater will not be able to join us in executive session as they are conflicted in this manner. Can I get a second for
Second.
that? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
road or whatever, then, you know, yeah, we not really just okay. But whatever you suggest,
Okay, sure. So I'm in the right place.
you are.
Okay,
Yes.
very good. So at the end.
And let me give you the agendas.
Oh, I do one.
No, you got the, that's the water report.
Okay. But that's okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Let's hope to be our first house here.
Oh, no, I only draw pines. I just hate being on camera.
Yeah. Oh, not quite yet.
It's his elbow, really. Well, it's his wrist and his elbow. Both wrists.
They said it was carpal tunnel, right?
Yes, he has tennis elbow. He just got cortisone shots in both.
Okay.
So this doctor he went to, told me you gotta go find another doctor because he went to the doctor and the doctor said to him, "Don't take that for 2 weeks. You need to do physical therapy 3 times a week." He comes back and does, you know, tell me, "Where's your stuff for the?"
This one there.
He didn't get me one. I said, "We got it."
Illegal.
So he calls there, things going on.
That's part of it.
Oh, no. The doctor just wants you to take 2 weeks off and the rest of it. And then do physical therapy 3 times a week. I don't know. Like, I can't. You know, he's like, let's just do physical therapy. And you know, this is what they do. They make you go through all of these stages, and then at the end of the day, they say, oh, I have to do something. So I said, you need to go find someone else and just tell them, I'm here with this problem, fix it. And you know, so.
Especially if they say it's carpal tunnel. It's better.
I mean, it's the elbow that's really bothering him. Right. Carpal tunnel is that. So, it's from the,
It's right. Yeah, I did a motion.
yeah, so he's back, but he said, I'm late, which, I don't know what that is.
He probably doesn't need it. It's not built that way. That's it.
Clark.
Are you on their HOA?
I'm the vice president of the board.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So, I mean, I don't have any other information but this.
So I'm just trying to understand, so the reason for, that you have your own sewer treatment.
Okay, so I'll backtrack a little bit. So we have our self-contained water and sewer. And our sewer plant is reaching its limit. You know, we're an aging community now, so it's in about 20-something years old, older than that. And it had needed a bunch of repairs. So we had basically rebuilt half of it. So it is still running. It has 2 trains that are, we've only been using half the plant because it was too big for we have 219 families, 219 homes. We only used half of it, and we basically were taking parts from the second half to keep it running all this
Rob,
time.
from Peter to Peter.
Exactly.
It's working.
We are now at the point where it can't support what we need anymore, and so was failing, we had all kinds of issues. So we're working with a consultant and a new water operator who is now helping us get the second train up and running.
Who are you working with?
We are working with DRI now. Yeah, right on the road. They're right on the road.
Yeah.
So they're getting our second part up and running, and we can utilize that hopefully for the next however long, and then after that, that's it. So we're looking long-term here, and so one of the members had suggested reaching out here to see if there was any viable option. What but we have to do our due diligence. We want to be able to say to our members, we pursued this, and this is where we are, so that we kind of then can move on to whatever our long-term plan will be, and we can start trying to figure out how to talk.
How many units are they roughly, you know?
I mean, if you know how to read this,
Brian, this is Carla.
Hey.
Brian
Nice
is,
to meet you.
these are, and this is Kenny. They're our sewer operators.
oh, great, so you're exactly the people.
Yeah.
We're big.
With, up to 30 minutes, like, average.
30,000?
30, 40, 30, yeah.
Yeah.
I see 40, 46.
When they measure your flow, do you do it, is every house metered? There's like a water meter?
Each way you have
No,
also.
we don't show water meters, so this is
So it's
just
just
our
like-
operator.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a way, they have a plan.
What's that?
She was asking how, if we had
Just
individual
visual
meters
screen.
at our residences
Oh.
to measure flow, we do not.
So you're just measuring at the water facility,
Exactly, that's where this came from.
and everybody pays a fixed rate.
Yep, it's included in our utility fees. What are you thinking? No.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to, how far away? Like
So-
5 miles or something? Or- Actually, is it that way or that way?
Yeah, we're right past Lakeside Park.
Oh,
You know where that is? About 2 minutes
Yeah.
driving down the road from Lakeside. On the left there,
Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Westover, yeah. Mhm.
Is it, are you guys next on the size of the property now, or are you adding more?
That's it.
That's
No,
it.
we are not adding anything else. No, we finished construction in 2002.
January to March. March is high, yeah, March is over.
You guys get cyanide too?
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of water in the sewer system?
With rain and all that, you guys, your flows go up?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's, I don't know.
It's probably, yeah, so that basically is like rainwater is
Yeah.
entering your system, which is probably bad.
Right.
It adds to your gallons.
Fascinating.
Fascinating, you're treating that is.
Right.
Can I keep this, or did you bring this in, or did you?
I gave it to Gil. I'm going to give it to
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry. Okay. Can I get a motion to close executive session?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, there were no votes or decisions made in executive session. All right. Hopefully, everyone has had an opportunity to read the minutes. Can I get a motion for the minutes?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Can I get a motion for the treasurer's report as presented?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, I will make a motion to approve payment of the May 2025 vouchers and prepaid vouchers as presented in the amount of $44,128.16. Good. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Make a motion to transfer $44,128.16 from O&M account to the checking account to pay the April 2025 vouchers. Yep, May.
Supposed to be May.
I know, I just, as it came out of my mouth, I said, nope. Vouchers and prepaid vouchers. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I will make a motion to approve the transfer in the amount of $1,213.28 from the 28 Walnut Street escrow account to checking account to pay for materials used for the sewer hookup.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. I'll make a motion for the payment in the amount of $2,560 to Cedarwood Engineering from the ASPCA escrow account. Do you have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, quotes for the Baxter Green Pump Station electrical panels. We have two. We have reference 36.25. D. Owens Electric for $1,487. We also have one from ADP Automation in the amount of $1,859. Anybody have any questions or discussion?
Just the bottom on ADP, when they gave us the quote, I noticed on the bottom it says that, I'll read it here. Current configuration is not protecting
Protecting
pumps
pumps.
for an overload.
Correct. That's what we're trying to
Oh,
address.
that's what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
So the work is going to perform.
Yeah, and-
Okay, so that's what it's doing.
but while they're in doing that, they're going to also straighten that box
Okay.
up because it's a mess,
Okay.
so,
And both of them are offering that?
correct.
Okay. So, somebody want to,
Yeah, I'll make a motion for Owens Electric
I'll
in
second
the
that.
amount of $14.87.
all right. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Okay, reference 3725, ADP Automation. Oops, I got out of order, I think. I'm 3825. Where'd 3725 go? Why do I not have that? Oh, I grabbed it, sorry. There we go. In the amount of $17,932.16. This is for 3 VFDs.
Right, and he would be relocating them, I believe.
Oh, is this, okay. This is in the wet room that we want moved? Is that what this
Yeah, we
is?
were actually just talking about that. We're still trying to figure out, we do have some issues with these waste pumps. We don't know if it is the pumps or the VFD, but regardless, they are in that MCC that's in that very wet room.
Right, and they're not rated for wet.
I don't know, we were just asking, did we get 2 quotes for that, or is this the only one there?
Looks like that's the only one we got.
Yeah.
Should we wait and get a second one, or
Can we make a month?
what?
I think we can
Table
wait
it.
another month on that.
So we're going to table it?
Yeah.
All right,
Can you guys try to get another estimate for that?
Yeah.
okay. That's why we're tabling. All right.
So does someone want to make a motion to
Oh.
table
I'll
that?
make a motion to table 37.25.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right. 3825, ADP Automation, skid water system, VFD number 1 replacement. Kenny or Brian, you want to talk us through this one?
This is the NPW skid in the UV room. They got the replacement pump, well, it was before we came on. The replacement pump rider was installed, but the VFD that controls its electrical control has failed. That failed 2 months ago, so something like that. So anyway, this is a quote to fix the VFD so we can put power to the pump.
Okay.
So,
And-
I don't know if we had another quote or not.
It looks like we only have the one quote, so is this something you want to try to get a second quote, or should we move forward?
The only problem with that is if the other one does go down, we can't run the belt filter press or anything.
All right, so we don't have time to wait for a second. Okay,
I would say let's just move forward.
okay. I'll make a motion to move forward with the ADP automation quote for $4,112.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Reference 41.25, this is a customer requesting a waiver on the sewer penalty in the amount of $33.92. Christine, you said this person has not been a problem for us
No.
previously?
No, he had surgery, and he's kind of been housebound. He got a little mixed up with his payments. His niece came in to make the payment. She thought it was due
Okay.
15th or something.
another day.
All right, so that we're just waiving the penalty is what's being asked for the $33.92?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, he's never late.
all right.
I'll make the motion to waive the $33.92 for customer 20086.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Oops, now I'm getting stuck into other things. All right, reference 43.25, 44.25, and 45.25. This is the estimates from Savarese, Earth Care, and Cook to pump out and haul away for the processing the post-EQ tank at the wastewater treatment plant. So basically, these were done per gallon. Wait a minute. Okay, 30 cents per gallon, okay. And we are estimating that we are around, or will be around 60,000 gallons, correct?
Correct.
So this is going to be a 60.
Okay.
So this is going to be a chunk of change. But it has to happen in order for us to get the plant functioning properly again.
And this is for that one tank that we've had issues with, correct?
Yes.
That's a lot of-
Correct, yeah.
Yes.
So,
So right now, the lowest one is Earth Care at the 18 cents per gallon. Savarese is at 30 cents per gallon, and Cook is 22 cents per gallon.
yes, and Savarese also charges by the hour for his truck, and I don't, for that amount of sewage, he's not equipped for it.
He's too small of a company for what we have to do after it was explained to me that once they start this process, it has to be all drained out continuously. We can't have a stop and start.
Right.
So they can't take some,
Couple of
go
days.
dump it, come back and get some more. It's got to roll. So, Earth Care being,
I'm sorry, I keep hearing Earth Care, Wind River?
Wind River.
Well, it's also Earth Care up on top. Yeah, it's a part of it.
It's the same, Wind River, or Earth Care. Everybody's been calling it Earth Care, sorry.
No, that's, yeah, so they came in the least.
Yes, the 18 cent,
There's
18.5,
No
18.5.
truck charge on this one?
Pardon?
No truck charge?
No
No,
truck
it
charge.
includes-
It
That
was
was
only,
just that one,
because they're a small company, is what I would say. No, I don't even think, Savarese isn't even capable of doing what has to happen out there, correct?
The
No, I'm talking
issue
about
is,
Earth
we have two SPRs online, we're treating, we're fully treating again, which we'll talk about later, but
Earth Care does, yes.
that tank, there's only a small window when you get in there, pull that
Right,
tank
pull it
out.
out.
So those decanters, if they start releasing water from the biological process in that tank, while we're trying to pull water out, it defeats the whole thing, it'll fill up, we lose the volume. It's a very short window
Yeah.
that we have to pull that out. So we need either frac tanks or trucks there
Right,
that are
to-
on site ready to pull this volume out of it.
And keep it flowing until, yeah.
Have you guys ever dealt with this Earth Care or Wind River?
Okay, oh, yeah.
They're okay?
And Jim, you have it.
We use
You
it
have
for
to-
years in fire districts.
Oh, okay,
And
great.
they're a big company. They-
Yes.
They'll have them.
And they're either going to have the trucks, or they're going to have what he's calling the decant tanks that will be on the,
frac
or frac
tank.
tanks.
Yeah.
Frac tanks that are going to be on the back of a tractor trailer, so,
Okay.
I'll make a motion to go with Earth Care. at
Okay.
18 cents,
18.5.
I'll second it.
per
Just
gallon.
Wind River, correct?
Wind River slash Earth Care.
$12,000, I think it came out. to.
Okay.
If we pull
11, I
out
think it is.
60,000
Okay.
gallons.
All right, so we have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay. We need to get that done sooner
Yeah,
than later.
Yes, what's the time? I don't want to get
Quick
off
as
topic.
possible.
We're trying to get it done pretty quick.
We're
basically, the timeframe is gonna be based on our timeframe.
Okay.
But is the,
We'll let them know, we wanna do it quickly.
Yeah.
We-
They
we
know
have a
we want
second
it done
quote coming?
quickly,
but
so.
but is that
Well,
gonna
it's
change
the
with
quote.
doing the, yeah, you're
Frac
saying
tanks.
that,
I don't think is it gonna change the cost?
Well, it won't change the hauling cost, but there'll be a cost for the frac tanks.
Okay,
So
well,
this
then
is-
that's
we
a
can't-
problem for us to move forward, because we just voted on for the tanker trucks,
Yeah.
and we don't have the information for the frac tanks.
yeah,
Correct.
we can't do that.
In the trucks, it doesn't have to be correct.
Well, they were looking at both options and they wanted to, they're gonna get back to us with it. They thought the frac tanks were gonna be the safest option.
But they didn't give us something, and now I'm stuck.
I followed up with them yesterday and we're supposed to get something to me.
I didn't know that.
This is the,
Can we,
You can make a motion that for further information being needed, that you rescind the approval for
Well,
the table.
it's gonna be with, it's gonna be, well, it's gonna be with the same company. The same company's doing it, it's just, are they doing it with tanker trucks, or are they doing it with frac tanks?
And what does
Right,
that
but you just
work out
voted
The
to?
cost per gallon will be the
Yeah,
same.
the cost per gallon is gonna be the same.
So I guess the potential additional cost of whatever they want for the frac tanks.
Well,
Because it says here, all equipment and manpower.
right, that's what I'm looking
But
at,
that was for tanker trucks.
yeah.
Yeah, that was for them just to come in and pump it.
Okay, so but we need to know what the other cost would be then.
Need to, so you could
Can-
keep this, you can keep this if you believe that you still want to go forward with them. And
Yes.
then you can authorize, you need further information, you're going to apply that, and then if you need to rescind this vote or approval or change it, you can do so as well.
But how are we doing that when we don't have a meeting? Because we're looking to, when I say we're looking to do this quickly, we're looking to do this like next week.
Well, I think in the past, right, we've decided if there's a cap or if there's an amount, and I don't know if you can even ascertain that without.
I don't know.
vote.
No, we weren't
Getting
told.
that.
So.
Is it something that we're allowed to do by email or not?
Like-
That you either are going to authorize you or your designee to move forward with something, but they need to. So there's none of that information.
I'm sorry?
That information has not been given in any
No.
capacity to you.
No.
Do we have to use frac tanks, or can we just use
The frac tanks are definitely the safer way to go, because they can just pump the whole thing into the frac tanks, and then they can come with their tanker trucks and take it out without having to worry about.
Moving
We
trucks?
can't dig back into that tank and then we have to
Because
start.
it was probably gonna take us like five trucks or whatever, moving them around in a tight area. This would be 3 tanks on the back of one tractor trailer bed. But I don't know how we get around this to do it quickly.
And, I mean, they may come back and say, we looked at the frac tank
Unless we do a
option
special
and
meeting.
we want to move forward with the tank. But,
They have to have one here.
right.
are they dictating this decision or are we?
No, we want to see.
What
We're
it is
exploring
that-
both options. We're exploring both options. I mean, this is something that they do on a regular basis.
So, just so you understand, we asked for it per gallon from 3 companies. When Earth Care came in low, we started having more conversations with them and we asked them to come out so that they could see and understand exactly what was needed. They came out last Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And that's when the conversation took place, that maybe instead of having, so basically, we weren't gonna start. So if it meant 5 tanker trucks, we were not starting the process until all 5 tanker trucks were on the sewer plant's property. Because when I say you have to keep it flowing, you have to keep it flowing. So now they thought the safer way was these tanks, but they didn't get it to us for us to be able to vote on it.
This, I'm not, you need the information, but this quote says to provide all equipment and manpower to pump, haul, and dispose of. That doesn't include?
The actual trucks.
That was just for the trucks.
But it doesn't say just trucks, does it?
That was how they were quoted.
All right.
Because that was the original quote, then we
So-
started asking about the frac tanks.
So is it possible, can you guys get
Still
another
to
quote
use
from them
trucks.
for the fracking?
Well, they're
Yeah,
waiting.
we're waiting
now,
for that.
yeah.
Once you have that, can we do a special meeting?
That's what, so if we can't do it by email, we're gonna have to have a special meeting.
Correct, and if we
Yeah.
can confirm some other manner in the
Yeah, if there's
Put it out
a
for a
Can get a
special.
quote
conference
together.
call or a email that we could,
Typically.
not allow.
Take
All right, so we'll have to have a special meeting once they get it, which will probably be at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah.
Because I know when I filled my pool, I think I had.
We're actually supposed to have it
I think
today.
they told me.
I called him today, he thought
I had it.
it was set down already.
No, you're right, you're right, it was over 5.
Okay.
Is there anyone we can contact by chance while we're sitting here?
7:30 on a Thursday, probably not.
That's the only other thing I was thinking of, there was a contact. They're not gonna give you a written invoice.
Right, now.
Or, they may say 20,000 gallons per frac tank, or you know what, so we just gotta wait to see what they say.
All right, so we're looking at,
Cost per gallon is the same,
I'm just gonna table.
no, I'm gonna let this ride, because if they come back saying the frac tanks are no good, we're moving forward with this. So this is gonna stand, as far as I'm concerned, but when they get that, and if it's better or whatever, then we will have the special meeting to rescind and replace. Is that in agreement with everyone?
The other company,
How was,
Cook,
yeah,
are
how
they-
was Cook
Is that a
presented?
big company or small? I don't know that.
Cook is pretty big.
Cook big,
Oh, it's smaller?
Comparison to that.
but are they gonna have the same problem? Are they gonna need,
Oh, yeah, you'd have to need all these tanker trucks sitting there.
right, but are they gonna need to frac also?
They don't have the frac tanks, right? No.
They don't have frac.
Earth Care's the only one.
They'd have to go out.
Earth Care is big.
So it's gonna be more money.
If these other companies don't have frac tanks, why bother giving us a quote if frac tanks are what we need? Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
They can do it with the trucks. The issue is, there's such, like I said before, there's such a small window
Logistics.
when we can do this. So they say, oh yeah, we have 5 trucks, right? We have enough trucks to carry that volume. Okay, so the trucks start showing up. 2 trucks pull out. Where's the 3rd truck? Oh, he's 20 minutes away. Oh, he calls, the truck broke down. Oh, whatever, traffic or something.
But we also have a very tight quarters in there to try to be getting tractor trailer, tanker trucks moving around in there to jockey them around of he's full, he's got to get out, but the
Yeah.
empty guy's got to get over and,
We just don't have any
Logistics.
window of error with time. It's just, you can only hold back so much flow right before we overflow. the
Okay,
tank.
so without that, window of time of severity, or do they, Savarese, do they, have frac tanks?
no, Savarese is too small for this job.
Okay, so the only ones that have a frac tank that are,
They don't have them, they gotta rent them,
they have to rent,
and then they'll put it on us.
And so does,
they're renting.
so Earth Care would have to rent the tanks as well?
No, they have their own.
Oh, they have their own.
Yes.
So
Earth Care
has
does.
their own.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's who we've decided to use.
yes.
So
Price.
the other
We don't know the
companies
price of the
have them.
frac
We
tanks.
just go with Earth Care.
We don't have a complete bill in front of us.
So,
Question.
so what happened was, all 3 companies sent us a bill per gallon. We've had that. When we asked Earth Care to come out so that they understood the logistics and the timing of what was needed, that's when the conversation took place about, using frac tanks might be a better,
So they bid a
Scenario.
job without knowing the conditions.
no.
So then what the hell?
I think, I look at it that this company that we just passed the reservoir, to complete this task, has their own frac tanks. They're not gonna have to go out and rent frac tanks. The other ones are gonna have to go out for a quote, for a rental, this and that. This company already has it, so.
So the only thing that's missing from this is the cost of the frac tanks. So we just redo our motion to say that once we know the cost of the frac tanks up to a certain amount?
Right, I mean, you may not like the
Or
cost
what?
with the frac tanks, and we say we're just gonna go with the
Because we
pump.
really don't.
Or we would just won't?
But if that's an option, why can't we just go with that option?
We can.
Because we're weighing the cost versus benefit of.
How long's the window that you're worried about?
That's on flow for that day.
You do 3 hours, 2 hours,
So
4
we don't
hours,
want to
8
do it in a
hours.
rainy
Yeah.
week.
All right, so, how do I say that legally?
We have to have a
Up
special
to
meeting.
whatever amount you decide is reasonable, I suppose, to add on. What is
Did
the
they give you
reasonable
any sense of what the cost might be?
No, I
So based on 60,000 gallons, based on what they did give us, it would come out to about $12,000
Yeah, 12
if
grand.
that's what they pulled
Right.
away. So
So could we say, but we have no idea.
say up to 15,000 maybe, put a cap
Probably
at
gonna be
15
more.
Or 20.
or 20.
I'm not a fan of giving
No.
company an opportunity to know.
Yeah, right.
They
I
don't
will
need to
open
know.
it.
No, but we're live
Not in
streaming,
this
so
circumstance.
I think you have to have a special meeting.
I think we should
All
do
right.
a special
Okay.
price.
Yeah, it's a big.
All right,
one.
yep, so we already made the motion and did all that, right? So we'll just let it ride, and once we get the information, we'll have to have a special meeting.
That's fine.
Or stick with what we have.
Or stick with what we have. Yes, if it comes back, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so 46.25, we have a request for sewer adjustment for customer 10512 in the amount of $124.33. So this was a hose bib incident. They're paying their water, but since it was a hose bib incident, it did not go into the sewer.
I mean,
We've done
precedent
it.
says we forgive it, so
We've done that
waive
before,
it.
yep.
I'll make the motion to waive it.
Okay.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Reference 47.25, resolution to accept Cedarwood Environmental Services as a new operator. So this is a revised agreement. I am going to turn this over to Hannah.
Yes,
to-
do all of you have this in front of you, this
Yes.
revised agreement?
Yes.
So you'll remember last month, May 8th, the commission passed a resolution authorizing Lori to sign a contract or an agreement with Cedarwood, subject to the attorney's review and approval. So our office took a look at this, and there were a couple provisions, not that we changed, but just things that we added for safety and convenience. Lawyers are kind of pessimistic sometimes and try to anticipate litigation and problems coming up, and so a lot of these are kind of boilerplate provisions. You'll see starting on page 24, there are a couple different paragraphs having to do with jurisdiction and severability, meaning if there's an improper provision or unenforceable provision, that the rest of the agreement can stay intact. So those are kind of typical for a contract. On page 23, we added our contact information for notices, as well as Cedarwood's contact information should be added in there as well. Yes. And then kind of I would say the exhibit, the first exhibit, which is on page 29, explains in further detail some of the duties of Cedarwood and some of their kind of process in terms of time, their daily responsibilities. Brian took a look at this to update as to the new plant. Thank you for making those changes, Brian. And then really I would say the only other substantive addition is section 5.5 on page 15. Am I getting these pages right? All right. And so that was added basically to protect the commission if it faces a scenario where the operator is leaving the plant upon termination for cause or without cause. They must leave the condition based on the duties and requirements of the contract itself. They can't leave it in a mess or damaged, or it gives you the opportunity to withhold certain payments. So those are the big changes there. Everything else is the same. And so basically what can happen, if you all agree with these additions, is that we'll pass a new resolution saying that this updated and revised agreement is acceptable to the board and authorizing Lori to sign this agreement. Do any of you have any questions for me?
Well, I think it's adds to the agreement. It gives us protections, and it gives clarity in areas that maybe weren't quite as clear. So, I mean, it's all a win for both parties, to be honest, to have it stated. So I'm fine with the changes.
Yeah, no, I like it, spells everything out, task-wise.
I just have one quick question on page 18, engagement period. What does that refer to?
So that's how long this agreement lasts, and I believe, this is page 18?
18?
Yes.
What section?
18, section 11, sub 1.
Okay,
Oh.
so the engagement period is just the contract period. I believe in this case it's 3 years, and then it gives you the opportunity to renew for additional 1-year periods thereafter upon 90 days notice. I think that's what I read.
And also, on page 3, there's definitions, which include engagement period at 1.12. And then it points you to paragraph 4.1. So you find 4.1. It says here, just as Hannah had reflected, period of pre-contract years commencing on the effective date. And then it goes into, otherwise, unless otherwise terminated. There's also a notice provision and for renewals and extension.
So if you like how things are going, then you can renew for additional 1-year periods.
Any other questions?
That being said, I just think it's important that we set a date in the calendar, because we have no later than 90 days before the last day of the current agreement to start really addressing it. Things are not going how we would please. Just keep that time frame in mind, that's all.
Yeah, I would probably say definitely sooner, like good 6 months before it's going to expire.
You can revisit it every winter.
Yep, that we can. And it should be revisited on an annual basis, so. All right. I'll make a motion to approve the revised agreement. Okay, and so I'm just going to read, so now therefore be it resolved that the commission hereby authorizes the chair of her authorized representative to execute the revised agreement with Cedarwood Environmental Services, Inc. to serve as the professional operator of the sewer system. The question of the foregoing resolution was duly put to vote. The commissioners voting as follows. Do you want to do the roll call,
Yep.
Christine?
Chair Lori Taylor,
Aye.
Vice Chair Jerry Locascio,
Aye?
Commissioner John Berwager,
Aye.
Commissioner Stephen Pizzella,
Aye.
Commissioner Arthur Guzzo,
Aye.
Commissioner James McCarthy,
Aye.
and Commissioner Corinne Pitt.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Okay, Brian, is there any updates with ASPCA?
No, I think I reported that, obviously the pumps were replaced, the flows are better down in stagnant.
Oh,
We did check,
I'm sorry.
I apologize.
I'm
For my
sorry.
records, do we know who seconded the motion?
John Berwager.
Thank you.
John.
Apologies.
Sure. Sorry, Brian, go ahead.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, so anyways, everything's good down there, everything's complete. They aren't supposed to be discharging yet due to some well thing on site. Kenny did check the valve, it's closed, so there should be no flow going to the pumps.
Oh, we did get a reading.
Yeah,
They could be using water.
Testing, and
Okay.
Oh,
they could be testing fixtures, I'm not sure.
okay.
It's not being discharged, so.
They're getting a bill.
Shed house, they did connect, right, they did install the grinder pump. They did the plumbing modifications in the basement, they didn't connect or still use their septic, but they did bring the core through the basement. They installed the grinder, the E1 grinder, they ran the forcing up, we met them on site to discuss how to route the manhole. That was done well. They used proper backfill and everything on the force main. I did inspect the fittings coming in and out of the pump station. They only hydraulically tested it, but they haven't done the electric yet, so just FYI, you guys. Lori and Christine know that, but that's the update on that. I don't know when that's scheduled or anything like that, but
They
they
called.
do have it in, but it's not just right.
They called day before yesterday. Tuesday.
Talk into the mic.
Oh, they called on Tuesday, they just, to say that they hadn't finished the electrical work, they hadn't started it, so.
All right, thank you. Attorney's report, anything?
Nothing else from us.
Okay. Brian, do you have any engineer's report other than those?
I think the engineering report's going to meld with the operations report.
Okay. So before we move into the operator's report, I have to give tremendous kudos to Brian and Kenny and Rich. When I say, and I think I passed pictures around, when I say how things were left. We're in non-compliance. We were in non-compliance for months now, and they have made tremendous strides. In less than 2 weeks, that plant has been turned around. We're not over the finish line just yet, but we are very close to it. So I really want to thank the hard work of you guys that you were able to pull this together so quickly and without really any hiccups or anything like that. I mean, it's just been a lot of hard work and it's being noticed, so I appreciate that. So I'll let you go into, so normally we have a monthly operator's report, which is a month, but they've only been here not quite 2 weeks, so we will get a 2-week report. How's that? So
Do you have to stand up or?
it would be best if you went up there because that's where the mic is, so I don't know that people that are viewing are going to be able to hear you. I probably should have forced you over there before, but I didn't.
Yes. This thing work for it? Does that work?
That's the little mic, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, pretty much we've come in, done a lot of housekeeping, a lot of process work on the facility. You know, we've gone from not having 2 SBRs online. Pretty much the first weekend we came on, we had both SBRs up and running. We had to do a lot of wasting of sludge, as we call it, biomass out of SBR2 to get it to come around. And I mean, you saw it when we first started, and now, you know, you look at it, it's clear.
I was out there this afternoon. It was a drastic
Yeah.
difference.
So I mean, really, it's just been a lot of time, and you know, doing a lot of process control work.
Biologically, the plant is 95%.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, there are some things that we still have to do, you know, as we explained to you today, you know, cleaning out the effluent channel and all that to get rid of some of that biological mass that's there. That should bring our DOs into compliance. I mean, right now we're at a 6.5, and our minimum is a 7, so we're really close. And then it's just a little bit more process work to get the ammonia back into compliance. But other than that, everything else, the phosphorus is good, BODs, looking at the clarity will be good. TSS, there's basically none coming out of the filters now. We had to do a lot of work on the filters. We pulled on filter 1, we had to take all the spray nozzles apart. Like 90% of them were plugged. So we unplugged them, put them back together. It's running nice now. The filter strainers, which are for the backwash pump, they take out any little solids or anything like that. They were plugging up constantly. We finally got everything flushed out of the units. They're running nicely now, getting good run times on the filters. So it's really coming along nicely.
Do you know, with the filters, weekly, monthly upkeep on that will keep it from getting clogged?
Well, we look at them daily.
Daily.
You know,
Okay.
we're monitoring them daily.
With what was going through before, you know, the partial bypass or blending, whatever you want to call it, it was bringing so much solids and you know, biological, you know, BOD and stuff like that. It was actually accumulating and growing on those disc filters. They were becoming, there's a process called an RBC, rotating biological contactor. It looked like that. It was just a lot of that growth on that. So that's what they've been cleaning up. And
Yeah.
it allows the filter to, you know, you can put a lot more through the filter too once it's
The
clean. right?
filter
Just-
to do its job.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
And the
Yeah.
the backwash pumps were running pretty much constantly,
Yeah.
trying to pass flow through.
Right.
Now they're operating like they're designed. They'll, once they reach the limit of, the upper limit of height, they come on, they clean the screens, and the level will go right back down, and they'll sit there and pass water through without coming back on for quite a while. I mean, you were there, you saw that today.
Yeah.
You know, a couple minutes, you know, 5 minutes without coming back on. And they come back on momentarily and then back off again. So they're now running like they should.
Great. Awesome.
We'll get the process, like I said, knock on wood here, we'll get the process turned around, we're almost there. Then it's gonna be really catching up on maintenance of things, and we do have to look at assets. So we're gonna get a list of assets, short-term, longer-term, the condition. There are some things, you know, the concern I had ever since I got involved with the plant is that MCC in that filter room, that thing is, it's on borrowed time. So that's why we've been slowly, that one quote from ADP for 17 grand, that's to bring more stuff over in that dry room and get the right rated VFDs. But there's other things there too we're gonna have to keep looking at, but like I said, compliance is step one here. So as soon as we're
Yes.
back in,
Yes,
yeah, we'll get a little bit of breathing room here.
yeah. Okay. Does anybody have any questions, Bill?
How's the press doing?
Press is,
Doing okay?
well, it's running fine, but the quality of the sludge that was sent into the digester to press is not good. So we're, 1 week we met our 18%, we were over. This week, it looks like we're gonna be maybe under, but
But we're close.
yeah. And once we get all that old sludge,
Right, out.
you know, pressed out,
We're pressing, you know, there's a lot of septic or anaerobic sludge. It's a different sludge, right? It's basically dead sludge in a sense. But then you're taking your digester, which is full, so there's no residence time. You're pumping it right out. We're catching up on, we're just catching up on basically getting ahead of the solids.
Right.
So we're hoping once that's done, and you know, I was down there, you know, when they were running the press, you know, they're running at a very high belt tension. I mean, we can't run any harder. It's just, we're just limited by the quality of the sludge, so.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
There.
All right. We normally do visitors' comments before we adjourn, no?
We never do, but we can. We might as well, we should.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. All right, so before I look to adjourn, is there any public comment or questions? If you
Can I
could,
come up there?
yes, please.
Good evening. My name is Carla Camiso Kelvin, and I am a board member over at Squire Green and Deerfield Ponds, which is a neighborhood right off of Westover Road here. We're comprised of 219 homes, single-family and townhome mixed development. And I'm here because we have our own self-contained wells and sewer, as some of you might know, and we have an aging sewer plant that is reaching the end of its usable life. So I brought along flow numbers to see if there was any option of us tying in to the sewer here in the village. Just, we're exploring all the options.
So that would be something that our engineer would have to look at?
Yes.
And then get back to us. So it's not something we could answer tonight.
Exactly.
So,
If I get those
Yep,
phone numbers,
I'm handing
I can
it to
make
you
a
right
copy
now.
if you want to send them to me.
I'm going to give them right to you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so sorry, I just thought of something. So before we adjourn, you had asked about the rates. So you know, hopefully everybody saw in our treasurer's report that we are very, very, very low in our O&M funds, which is made up of, you know, our rates. And so it's declined tremendously, and we haven't been able to get these rates changed. So I know that it was being looked into. Is there any status you could give us on where we are at to try to move this along?
Our office has been reviewing this internally as far as changing the rates or kind of a larger agreement between the town and the village. And I think that we have some comparative numbers as to potential increase. So I think that that's something that, are we ready to circulate that information?
Well, I didn't hear what she said.
I didn't hear you.
There's some comparison information, I believe, that we have at least received. So we're reviewing that. So
Okay.
that can be circulated to
So-
the commission. And there's a reminder that there's components here about what the commission's authorized to do versus actually the municipalities effectuating.
So is it something that you can put together, the comparisons along with a dialogue of option A, option B, or something that then can be sent out to all of us for our review, so that maybe it's something we can start thinking about taking action on?
Yes.
Of course.
I'd love to have that before our next meeting.
That's what I was hoping for.
I
I
believe that
did the
we,
comparisons, I have them, I
Right.
can email those out.
Well, you sent out some. You sent out estimates of what the increase would be for certain users.
That was that chart, you mean?
Yeah, no, I printed
She
bills
did
and did. I
Bills,
have
like a,
new.
you know, Jane Doe user,
Right.
Jane Doe this,
Well, I
and,
tried
you know,
to take
current
Yep.
this
different
and this one or
classifications
whatever,
of
so.
properties.
What we're trying to do is to work on the methodology, because the commission has the power to change the methodology for setting the rates, but not the actual rate values themselves, because that's legislative and has to be for the village and the town to set. So we're working on setting and changing a methodology to allow our, you know, income to come more into conformance with what it is that we need to survive as the commission.
And that would require an update to the IMA.
it could potentially, yes.
Or an amendment.
Correct. So we can absolutely put this back to the top of the
Yes, please.
T
We're,
for the
we're,
next meeting.
we're dire. And I think that having a couple of options that we can chew on, I mean, I think we're all ready for a new IMA, but if that's going to be a heavier lift than just amending to get the rate so that we get money coming in quickly and work on a new IMA, if that's going to take longer, I'm trying to get money.
Right. It may not
In
take
short
longer.
order.
If there's a, you know, compromise available between town and village and a new IMA is kind of on the table, I think that that's a feasible
Okay,
means that, or avenue that we could pursue as well, if that's the preference.
okay. We got to do something, because we're not going to be breathing much longer.
I thought that's where we left off, like a year and a half, 2 years.
No,
This year, since.
This year?
Yeah, since a few months ago we've been talking.
yeah, a few months ago.
Christmas Eve.
Chris,
I
yeah,
don't
6
even-
months ago, I think, right? Beginning of the year? January?
Yeah, January, February, or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, let's just, we were looking at a very simpleized IMA.
What's the timeline for both combined, is that?
I think that we could, an estimate?
Well, we can certainly work up a draft, but I can't give you a timeline as to both of the.
No, draft to put in front of
Yes,
us.
draft, so
That's what we're looking
read
for.
together.
If we could get a draft in front of us before our next meeting, so that maybe we can start discussing it.
So I would say to give us probably at least 2 weeks. And then you
Okay.
have 2 weeks before.
Yeah,
to
And
review.
we can keep you updated if, you know,
Yep,
if that changes. But if
Okay.
that is where you guys are at, what
Yeah.
you like,
yes,
that's, I think, reasonable.
okay, all right, thank you. All right, so can I get a motion to adjourn? Or unless there's other
there's- yeah,
questions,
there's one more
comments?
thing.
Sorry.
I wanted to talk about the batteries over at the sewer plant, the generator. I went and looked at them. They're They're big batteries, it's 24 volts, big batteries. But I took the number down, I went to Napa. The battery's about $280 a piece. You need 2 of them, they're big. I don't know where we go from here. Is this something, I don't mind doing it, I have no problem doing it, and I'll do it, but is that okay if I change the batteries? Because we had a quote, you know, what was it, 16, 17?
Wait a minute, I got lost. What generator are you even talking
It's
about?
a big generator, sewer plant.
That's at the sewer plant,
Yes.
and it needs a new battery.
Yes, and there's 2 batteries in it.
So
Gentech gave us a quote
Quote,
to come
that
out
was
and
crazy,
replace
yeah.
those 2 batteries.
Yeah.
And it was like $1,600. It was like, the markup is pretty big.
Was that batteries and a service or just batteries?
No,
Just
there was something else, right? Wasn't
I
there?
thought it was just battery, I thought it was just.
I'll pull it
The
and I'll send it
the
out.
installation of the 2 batteries?
Probably, yeah, I mean, you know, like, everything is 5 hours. I don't know how
Yeah.
that works.
So you got the price of the batteries?
Yes.
And what was that?
280 each.
Each,
280.
okay. So now you're asking the legality of you
Yes.
doing the work.
Yeah. Or do we just have to Gentech?
I know that Corey used to go around and replace batteries. all the time. They
They
do.
supply the batteries,
Yes.
we can certainly
They do.
install them.
There you go. So we buy the batteries and let them, because I don't, yeah.
But does the commission have to pass the price of the batteries? Is what I'm asking. You gotta pass
Oh,
to supply the batteries, right?
For that.
Or it's just maintenance?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a amount.
No, it's just maintenance. Okay, that's fine. Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Save me a job. They're heavy, they're big boys. They are. Yeah, they're big.
all right.
19 inches long.
Are you gonna do it all by
Oh,
yourself?
shoot, I'm like,
You asked, but
okay.
you didn't receive.
Oh, my
Oh, no, I
daughter.
got, I said question, okay. So we don't have to do anything with that. All right, so, motion to adjourn, or is there more discussion?
Second.
Motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
Who motioned?
Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Yes.
Maybe it's sunny, but it's not raining.